Hello everyone, thank you for listening and watching. If this video has found you, there's a message here for you, but please take what resonates and leave the rest. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the retrograde season of 2025, which has already started as at the time of me making this video. But this particular retrograde season is going to last through December and into January. So the rest of 2025 is going to be a time of lots of changes and transitions. Whether these changes are good or bad all depends on you and your karma. But when a planet goes retrograde, the energy turns inward, which gives us an opportunity for integration and making adjustments. This is typically not an ideal time to start any major new projects. This is a great time, however, for personal growth and development and being consistent with what you've already started working on, while allowing yourself time to rest and retreat as needed. It would be helpful if you could check your natal chart to see how these transits will affect you on a personal level. But let's talk about the general and collective vibes, okay? So on July 4th, we had Neptune go retrograde in Aries, and he's going to go retrograde back into Pisces in October. Neptune retrograde helps us to discover our internalized fears and illusions and insecurities. These things are going to surface for review and hopefully healing. Neptune retrograde will also show us the source of our emotional pain, which is always inside of us, okay? Outside people and events are only triggers. I also recommend that sensitives and empaths use extra spiritual and psychic protection at this time. But this is also a great time for kicking bad habits and addictions, okay? On July 13th, we have Saturn, Sirius Saturn going retrograde in Aries and then back into Pisces on September 1st. Saturn is the great taskmaster, the Lord of karma, okay? He rules our structures and duties and responsibilities in our lives. Being more disciplined and committed to our goals is a theme of Saturn retrograde. This is a time for strengthening our inner foundations. So our careers, our relationships, business matters will all come up for review. And if they no longer resonate or we've outgrown them, Saturn says they have to go. This energy sometimes can feel restrictive, Saturn retrograde, but it's not going to be from pressure outside of you to conform, if that makes sense. It's going to be more internal restriction, things that you know you need to do. All right. July 18th, we have Mercury going retrograde in Leo, and then another Mercury retrograde on November 9th in Sagittarius. So we know Mercury goes retrograde 3 or 4 times a year. This is a time when we focus on all the rewords, redoing, reviewing, resting, reading, rejuvenation. This is not the best time to sign contracts or make big ticket purchases or buying electronics because Mercury kind of skews the lines of communication and our mental energy is compromised. But you do what you have to do, right? We have to live our lives and we can't always not do something because there's a certain astrological aspect at play, okay? It's always cycles within cycles. But I would always suggest that you never get married during a Mercury retrograde or get back with an ex because you will regret it. On July 30th, we have Chiron moving into Leo. Chiron is the wounded healer. He helps us to do our deep inner healing work, helping us to turn our past hurts into power. Chiron retrograde also helps us to remember that forgiveness does not always mean reconciliation, okay? We forgive ourselves. We reconcile the energy within ourselves. And remember that changed behavior is always the best apology, all right? On September 6th, we have Uranus going retrograde in Gemini and then in Taurus on November 7th. So this will help us to examine how we handle change. It'll help us to process and integrate all this information that's come up, all of the adjustments that we've had to make over the past year. And these shifts that Uranus will bring in on an internal level will change our perspectives when it comes to freedom and equality, especially. And when he shifts back into Taurus, It can be a little destabilizing as we are trying to integrate any changes that have happened in our material world or just in the environment, the collective energies. We're definitely going to all experience that, okay? We can see it happening now in the political arenas and, what's going on in the WAR department, okay? But in November and December, Saturn, Mercury, and Neptune will station direct again, which is going to give us an energetic push into the new year. So for the next 6 months or so, use this time to really shore up your inner foundations, to get spiritually strong, to be committed and consistent with the projects and the goals that you're already working on. So I wanted to offer you 3 tips for navigating this retrograde season. The first one is to cleanse and protect your energy every single day. That goes without question. That should be a part of your routine anyway, but especially now, since we're dealing with a lot of internal energy, we don't want to take on anybody's energies that might be projected because people don't want to heal. They don't want to change. So it's going to be very important to cleanse and protect your energy consistently. And that leads me to the next tip. Consistency, right? Consistency is key to keeping you grounded and stable during this time. And the third tip is to just check your boxes every day. Don't overthink things, right? That seems to be an issue with a lot of people nowadays. Don't overthink it. You know what you need to do. Just do it. Check off those boxes, no matter how you feel, no matter what's going on. Of course, if you're tired, get some rest, make adjustments to your schedule as necessary, but just do what you need to do. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.